So tell me how you would classify these as border patterns.
I'm glad you asked. It's a pretty simple system.
I hope it's simple, and I hope there's not a lot of symbols involved.
Well, there's actually only two. The first symbol indicates whether the pattern has vertical reflections, and the second symbol talks about some other symmetries. We'll get to that very soon. But let me start with this first pattern here.
Looks to me like it has vertical symmetries.
Ah, yes. Look at this. Isn't that a mirror line?
Yep, they're pretty obvious actually in this one.
Yeah. In fact, this is another mirror line.
Yeah.
You could draw one in every one of these places.
Yep.
So this definitely has vertical reflections.
So what would our symbol be?
The first symbol would be an M. M stands for mirror.
That's easy to remember.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. So first symbol is M, and the second symbol actually turns out also to be M because the pattern has a horizontal mirror line.
So the
right
first
here.
M is for a vertical mirror line, and the second one is for a horizontal mirror.
That's correct.
So this would be MM, this first
This
one.
pattern is an MM.
Okay.
Good. Let's look at the second one, this one with the ducks. Does it have vertical mirror lines?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think there's anywhere you could draw a vertical line for which the left side would be mirrored on the right side. So the first symbol for this pattern is,
Not an M.
so it's a 1,
A 1.
because there's only two options, M or 1. So this one starts with a 1. Now, about the second symbol.
A horizontal symmetry.
A
A horizontal mirror.
Well, we first look at that and see if it has one, if the center line of the pattern acts as a mirror line. And in this case, that does not appear to be true.
I agree.
So we move down the list. The next one we check for is a glide.
What's a glide?
Glide is actually a combination of a reflection and a translation. So if you look at this duck here, it is indeed reflected across the mirror line, across the center line, and then translated over to here. So this pattern actually has a glide. So the classification would be a 1G.
Okay.
1 because it does not have a vertical mirror line, and G because it does have a glide. Now, moving on to the next one. Does this have vertical reflections?
Yes,
Yes.
I see those.
Through all these.
So this is going to
points.
start with M?
This one is again starting with an M, and the second symbol, well, we have to do a little work.
The G?
Does it have a horizontal reflection?
No.
Yes, correct. The center line does not act as a mirror line, so it does not have a horizontal reflection, nor does it have a glide, because the center line does not act as a glide line either. This piece here is not reflected then translated.
Okay, I got it.
Now, the two,
But there is some kind of repetition here, so there must be something we can say about it.
well, actually, the only symmetry that this one has is the vertical reflection. It does not have a two-fold rotation, so it doesn't get a 2. So this is actually just an M1.
Okay.
There's always a 1 if none of the symmetries apply. So because it doesn't have a horizontal reflection, does not have a glide, does not have a two-fold rotation, so the second symbol is a 1.
Okay.
So this one, vertical reflections, what do you think?
No.
Correct. There are no vertical reflections.
So next I would go to horizontal reflection?
That's what you would check for next.
Okay, I don't see one of those either.
No, the center line doesn't appear to be a mirror line. The center line, what do you think? Is it a...
Is it a glide?
Mm-hmm.
I see a glide. I think I see a glide.
Well, that's
Because it looks like that first shape gets flipped over, just like the ducks got flipped over.
right. But this is actually a little bit tricky because see how this thing is pointing that way? If it was glided, that little thing, it would be pointing that way,
I see.
but it's not. So
It's
instead,
tricky.
instead, it's actually a twofold rotation. At this point, there's a twofold rotation going on. Also, this is a rotation point, and so on. So this one is actually a 1-2 pattern. Do you see that?
Yes, I think I got it.
Great.